Good day everyone, I am Kyle Abigail Comonal from BSN 111K. And for today, I'm going to perform and show you my complete bed bath return demonstration. A bed bath means to wash someone who is in bed. So it is a wash that you give to someone who cannot leave their bed. It cleans the skin and helps keep the skin free from infection as it removes transient microorganisms, secretions and excretions, and dead skin cells. And it also stimulates circulation. It produces relaxation and comfort, so indeed it helps to relax the person or the patient being bathed and make him feel better. It promotes personal hygiene and the well-being of the patient. And of course, now, before the procedure or before any procedure is to perform hand washing. So prior to the conduct of the procedure, I already have performed thorough hand washing. This is to deter or prevent the spread or transmission of microorganisms. And I also already have prepared the environment or the room itself for my patient's privacy. So I already have closed the windows and doors and put the curtains down. As you can see, this is to ensure patient's privacy, because hygiene is a personal matter. And by closing the windows and doors, also ensure that the room is in a comfortable temperature, because air currents increase the loss of heat from the body by convection. And after that, after I have prepared the room for my patient's privacy, I also prepared the needed equipment. As you can see, it's already here. Beside me, I have prepared it beforehand. That is to conserve time and energy. So I have here a basin, a moisturizing lotion, a liquid soap, a deodorant, a clean working gloves, hair comb, washcloths, bath towels, and the bath blanket. So now that I have confirmed that I have done all of that, that I have all of that prepared and ready, so now I am good to go to meet and greet my patient. Of course, by performing the introductory steps, where I greet and introduce myself to the patient. That is to build rapport and gain the trust and respect of the patient, and verify the patient's identity. Because identifying the patient, this is to ensure that I am, or we student nurses or nurses, we are doing the right procedure, that I am doing the right procedure to the right patient. And after that, I'm going to explain the procedure or the things that I am going to do to him, to the patient, and explain why is it necessary and how he or she can participate. Because this encourages patients' understanding, participation, and to alleviate the anxiety of the patient. Okay, good morning, sir. I am Kyle Abigail Comonal, your student nurse for today. I am from Davao Doctors College.
Good morning.
Okay, sir, may I see your wristband, please? Okay, thank you very much. Please state your complete name.
Roberto Zaragoza Comonal.
Okay, and your birthday.
August 23, 1966.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Comonal. How would you like me to address you?
Just call me Bert.
Okay, Bert. So today I am going to do a bed bath to you. So I'm gonna bath or wash you in bed. So I'm gonna wash areas of your body. This is to cleanse you, of course, to cleanse your skin. Okay, we're doing this, Bert, because it removes accumulated oil, perspiration, dead skin cells, and some bacteria. So this is for you to be refreshed, feel good, comfortable, and of course, for you to be clean. And Bert, for me to be able to do that, so I'm gonna have to ask you later to remove your gown, because we will be needing, or we're gonna have to expose your skin so that I will be able to wash your skin properly, of course. Okay, Bert, so I'm gonna wash your face, your hands, arms, your legs and feet, and your back. And I will be touching you in doing this. So would that be okay with you?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Bert. So now I'm going to wear clean working gloves. Okay, now I am wearing a gloves. This is for my protection and for my patient's protection, for any potential or if there's any lesions in the patient's skin, and we don't want that, or we don't want to touch that with our bare hands and contaminate it. So this is to prevent contamination and cross-contamination. Okay, now that I've put on the gloves, so the next thing to do is to offer the patient the bedpan or urinal. Okay, since I don't have the actual medical equipment of the bedpan or urinal, so I will just be using this instead for now, just to completely show you and demonstrate this part of the procedure. Okay, Bert, I have here the bedpan or urinal for where you will urinate or void now, because this is the perfect time to do that before we start the bath. Okay, because for you to void before the bath, because that will make you comfortable later throughout the bath. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I am doing this, or we are doing this, offering the bedpan before or at this time of the procedure or before starting the bed bath, because warm water and activity can stimulate the need to void, and the patient will be comfortable after voiding. Okay, that's why. Okay, Bert, don't you worry, we'll be assisting you in using this now. Okay. Okay, that after we have offered the bedpan and we assist the patient in using the bedpan, of course, we're gonna have to remove the used gloves, discard it in the proper receptacle, perform hand hygiene, and wear a new clean working gloves. And after that, now we're gonna position the bed or raising the bed at a comfortable working height. So, since I don't have an adjustable bed, just like in the actual healthcare setting or in the hospital, so for now, I'm just gonna have to pretend. Okay, let's just visualize it. Let's assume that it is happening. Okay, so now I am positioning the bed at a comfortable working height. Okay, now that I have positioned the bed, okay, next is we're gonna lower the side rail that is closer to us, or that is closer to me. Okay, since I am standing in this side of the bed, so let's assume, or I'm going to assume that the bed has a side rails on it. So I'm gonna lower the side rail on this side of the bed, which is closer to me. Okay, now I'm gonna lower the side rail on this side of the bed, and let's just let's just keep the other side rail up on the other side of the bed. That is to prevent our patient from falling. So that is for his safety. Okay, next is I'm going to assist my patient to move on this side of the bed, which is closer to me. Okay, Bert, so can you move closer in this side of the bed? Okay. Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, now that we have positioned the bed at a comfortable working height, we have positioned the side rails and our patient. Okay, now we are good to go in placing the bath blanket over the patient. Bert, can you hold this for me? Okay, now that I've placed the bath blanket over the patient, next is to remove the top sheet, which is the linen that is now under the bath blanket. In doing that, in removing the top sheet, so I'm gonna have to start at the top of the linen, of course, and move it down towards the client's feet or towards the foot of the bed. So I'm gonna pull it down. And in doing that, I'm gonna have to ask the patient to grasp or hold for us or for me the top of the bath blanket while I am pulling down the top sheet. Okay, Bert, can you hold this for me? Yeah, here. Okay. Okay, hold it for me while I am going to remove this sheet, okay? Okay, now I'm gonna remove. Okay, now you can lower it backward. Okay, as you can see, the bath blanket provides warmth, comfort, and privacy to the client. Okay, now we have to take note that if the bed linen is to be we use, then we should place it over the bedside chair or the bedside table. And if it is to be changed, then we have to place it on the laundry hamper and not on the floor. Okay, so now I'm going to put the soiled top sheet on the laundry hamper. Okay, now that I have removed the top sheet, so next I'm going to remove the patient's gown while keeping the patient covered with the bath blanket. So in removing the gown, we must be careful, or I must be careful to keep the patient draped. And here, we must remember that if the patient has intravenous line, injury, or reduced mobility, then in removing the gown, we must start or begin at the unaffected area. Okay, Bert, so now I'm going to remove your gown. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to put the used gown on the laundry hamper. Okay, now that I have removed the patient's gown, next thing to do is to fill the basin 2/3 full of warm water. Okay, now here, while we are preparing for the bath water, we must make sure that the side rail is up. Okay, now I'm going to raise the side rail. Okay, this is to prevent the patient from falling. So this is for his safety. Okay, now I'm good to proceed in filling the basin 2/3 full of warm water. Okay, now that I have filled the basin with warm water, okay, the next thing to do, this is our responsibility, student nurses or nurses, to check the temperature of the water first by either a bath thermometer or the inside of our wrist. So for today, I am using the inside of my wrist to check for the water's temperature. Okay. Okay, because the water should be at 43 degrees to 46 degrees Celsius. Okay, now I'm done checking the water's temperature. It's okay for me, it's good for me, but I don't know how it is for my patient. So that is the next thing to do, to let the patient check for himself the temperature of the water. That is to make sure that he can tolerate it. Okay, now I'm just gonna lower the side rail back down. Okay, Hubert, here's the water that I'll be using to wash you later. So now I'll let you check the temperature of the water so that you can tell me if it's too cold or too hot for you. Okay, just put your fingers here and tell me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now the next thing to do is to remove the pillow under the patient's head. Okay, Bert, now I'm going to remove the pillow under your head, okay? So now you can lower your head. Okay, thank you. Okay, now that I have removed the pillow under the patient's head, the next thing to do is to position the head of the bed, or to raise the head of the bed at 30 degrees to 45 degrees angle. So let's assume that it is happening. So now I'm raising the bed at 30 degrees to 45 degrees angle. Okay, now that I have positioned the head of the bed, now we are good to go to start the bed bath, starting with the face. So to wash first the face of the patient. This is because to start the bath at the cleanest area and work downward towards the feet. Okay, that's why. Okay, now we're gonna start to wash for his face. Okay, starting with to wash his eyes. Okay, the first thing to do is to place a bath towel. First, I'm going to place a bath towel under the patient's head. Okay, assisting the head of the patient while you are placing the bath towel under the patient's head. As you can see, I'm placing the bath towel lengthwise. Okay, now you can lower your head first. Okay, thank you. Okay, next is I'm going to place a bath towel over the patient's chest or over the bath blanket. Okay. Okay, now we are good to go to start washing for the patient's eyes. Okay, we must remember that in washing the eyes, we must use a plain warm water, no soap, because soap irritates the eyes. Okay, now first thing to do is I'm going to get a washcloth and soak it in the warm water. Okay, rinse it thoroughly. Okay, and now I'm gonna fold it and create a bath mitt or a bath mitten. Okay, in washing the eyes, we must move the mitt, or we must start at the inner canthus to the outer canthus, and we must use a different section or a separate section of the washcloth for each eye. Okay, now Bird, I'm going to start washing your eyes. Okay, from the inner to the outer canthus. Okay, inner to the outer canthus. Okay, we are doing this because moving from the inner to the outer aspect of the eye prevents carrying debris towards the nasolacrimal duct. Okay, now that I am done washing the left eye of my patient, so now I'm going to proceed to wash for his right eye. So now I'm going to turn the washcloth, because as what I've said earlier, we're going to have to use a separate section of the washcloth for each eye. This is to prevent spread of organisms from one eye to the other. Okay, now I'm gonna wash your right eye, Bird. Okay, same, starting from the inner canthus to the outer canthus. Okay, inner canthus to the outer. Okay, now that I've done washing for both of his eyes, now I'm gonna dry his eyes thoroughly. Okay, but gently, because pressure can cause internal injury. Okay. Okay, now that I am done washing the eyes of my patient, so now I'm going to proceed to wash the rest of his face. So I'm going to wash the patient's forehead down to his cheeks, nose, ears, and neck. So here I'm going to have to ask the patient if he would prefer a soap to be used on his face. Okay, Bird, would you like me to use a soap on your face?
No.
Okay, so I'll just be using water. To start washing your face, okay, we're starting from the forehead, okay, to his cheeks, okay, nose, ears, and neck. Okay, now I'm gonna dry his face thoroughly but gently. Okay, now I'm done washing the face of my patient. So next I'm going to wash for his arms and hands. And the first thing to do is we're gonna remove the bath blanket over the patient's arm. So I'm gonna expose the arm of my patient. Okay, now that the arm is exposed, now I'm gonna place a bath towel under the arm of the patient. Okay, assisting his arm while I am placing the bath towel lengthwise under his arm. Okay, now that I've placed the bath towel under the arm of my patient. So now I'm gonna proceed in creating a bath mitt. Okay, now here in washing or bathing for the arm and the hand, so we will be using a soap and a water for this, and we will be using a long firm strokes from distal to proximal. So that means from the patient's fingers towards the axilla. Okay, so gonna use a soap. Okay, now I'm gonna start with his fingers. Okay, fingers, okay, hands, and to the arm. Okay, distal to proximal because it promotes venous return. And as you can see, I am moving the mitt using a long firm strokes as it stimulates circulation. Now I'm gonna rinse the washcloth so that I can rinse his hand and arm. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse the soap thoroughly, or his hand and arm, starting with his fingers, of course. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna dry his hand and arm. Okay, now I'm gonna prepare his. We're gonna prepare a bath mitt, okay, with a soap and water, because next I'm going to wash for the axilla of my patient. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask the patient to raise his arm, or I'm gonna ask and assist the patient to raise his arm over his head so that I can wash, rinse, and dry properly his axilla. Okay, Bird, now can you raise your arm for me over your head so that I can properly wash your armpit? Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna start. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse the washcloth so that I can rinse the armpit. So that I can rinse the soap. Okay, we are using a soap because it lowers surface tension and it facilitates the removal of debris and some bacteria when friction is applied during washing. Okay, now we're gonna rinse his axilla thoroughly but gently. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna dry his axilla. Okay, you can lower your arms now, Bird. Okay, now that I'm done washing for the left arm and hand of my patient, so now I'm gonna proceed to wash for his right arm and hand. So now I'm gonna raise the side rail on this side of the bed because we're done on this side. And now I'm gonna move to the opposite side of the bed and do or repeat the exact same steps. Lowering the side rail on this side of the bed. I'm done washing for my patient's arms and hands. So next is I'm going to wash for his chest and abdomen. So the first thing to do is I'm gonna place a bath towel, spread it across his chest. Okay, so you can see it covers his chest and arms. Okay, the next thing to do is we're gonna fold the bath blanket down to the umbilicus. Now is I'm gonna prepare to create a bath mitt or bath mitten. Okay, and next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the bath towel. Okay, with just one hand like this, as you can see, I'm gonna lift the bath towel off the patient's chest, because while the other hand, this mitted hand, will do the work. Okay, so this will bath the chest of the patient. So now I'm gonna start, okay, with long firm strokes in washing for the chest. Here we must take special care to skin folds, or we must pay attention to skin folds, because these areas are prone to sweating or perspiration. As we all know, bacteria thrive best in moist areas or moist environment. Okay, now I'm gonna dry the patient's chest. Okay. Now that I'm done washing for my patient's chest, so next I'm going to wash for his abdomen. So I'm gonna place a bath towel over his abdomen. Okay. Next is I'm gonna fold the bath blanket down just above his pubic region. So now I'm gonna start using a firm, long strokes from side to side. Okay, here we need to take or pay special attention to the umbilicus and skin folds of the abdomen and groin. Okay, because keeping the skin folds clean and dry prevent odor and skin irritation. Okay, dry this abdomen thoroughly. Okay, now that we're done, so I'm gonna remove the bath towels and I'm gonna put back the top of the bath blanket so that it covers back his abdomen, chest, and his arms. Okay, now that I'm done with his chest and abdomen, so now we are good to go in washing for his lower extremities. So I'm gonna wash now his legs and feet. So in doing that, I'm gonna have first to expose the near leg. Okay, so by doing that, I'm gonna fold the bath blanket toward the midline. Okay, making sure or keeping the other leg and perineum draped. Okay, now that the leg is exposed, so next thing to do is I'm gonna place a bath towel under the patient's leg. Okay, while placing the bath towel under the leg, so I'm gonna assist the leg or the knee and the ankle while placing the bath towel lengthwise under his leg. Okay, now that the bath towel is placed, I'm gonna proceed now preparing the washcloth. Okay, and washing for the leg, distal to proximal, so that means from his ankle to the knee and knee to his thigh. Okay, now I'm gonna apply liquid soap. Okay, now we're gonna start from his ankle, okay, to the knee. Okay, using long, firm strokes. And let's be careful here that we don't massage or rub the back of the calf, because excess massage of the calf could loosen the deep vein thrombus. Okay, now is the knee to the thigh. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse the washcloth so that I can rinse his leg. Can rinse the soap in his leg. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse the soap on his leg. Okay. Okay, now that I'm done rinsing, now I'm gonna dry his leg thoroughly. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna prepare the washcloth, because next I'm gonna proceed in washing for his foot. Okay, so in washing the foot, we must remember to bath the between the toes, because secretions and moisture may be present in between the toes. Okay, okay, liquid soap. Now I'm gonna proceed in washing for his foot. Okay, that's what I have said earlier, making sure that the in between the toes are bathed. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse the washcloth so that I can rinse the soap off his foot. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse the soap on his foot. Okay. Okay, paying attention in between the toes. Okay, now I'm gonna dry his foot thoroughly but gently. Okay, and now I'm gonna apply moisturizing lotion because the skin of the foot of my patient is dry. Okay, now I'm gonna remove the bath towel under his leg and discard it, as we have used it now already in the feet, and we don't want this to use on the other part of his body that we were going to wash, of course. Okay, and put it on the laundry hamper. Okay, now that we're done with his left leg and foot, so I'm gonna proceed in washing for his right leg and foot. Okay, in um, raising the side rail on this side of the bed, because we are already done on this side, and now I'm gonna move to the opposite side of the bed and do the exact same steps. Okay, now that I'm done washing for my patient's legs and the feet, now I am going to discard the used washcloth because we already used this on the patient's feet and we don't want that. We don't want this to touch the next part of the body that we will going to wash, of course. So now I'm gonna discard this now on the laundry hamper. Okay, and of course, now I also gonna need to discard and remove the used gloves because I also already touch this in the patient's feet and we don't want that to touch the next part of the body that we will going to wash because now it is dirty. Okay, and also at this point I will be needing to change the water first. Okay, now I am going to remove the used gloves and discard it. I'm going to perform hand hygiene and after that I am going to wear a new clean working gloves. Put on the gloves. Now I'm going to fill the basin 2/3 full of warm water. Using my wrist, the temperature of the water. Okay, it's good for me. It's okay for me. But now I will let the patient or my patient check for himself the temperature of the water to make sure that he can tolerate it. Okay, I'm gonna lower the side rail on the side of the bed. Okay. Okay, now I am good to go in washing my patient's back. So the first thing to do is I'm going to position my patient. So I'm going to assist him to prone or side lying position. Okay. Okay, Bert, now can you face your right side while with your body facing the right side of the bed? Okay. Okay. And now that I have positioned the patient into side lying position, as you can see, he is facing away from me. And now as I'm going to place a bath towel alongside his back. Okay, now I'm going to start washing the back of my patient. Okay, with long, firm strokes as it stimulates circulation. Okay, we're also going to need to wash the back starting from the shoulders down to the buttocks area and to the upper thigh. Okay, in washing the back, it is important to pay attention to the gluteal folds because fecal material near the anus may be a source of microorganisms. Okay, now I'm going to dry the back of my patient. Okay, and now that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna observe if there's any indication of redness or skin breakdown on the sacral area because prolonged pressure on the sacral area or bony prominences may compromise circulation and lead to the development of the subitus ulcer. So I don't see any redness. Okay, I don't see any redness or skin breakdown. My patient's skin is intact, so now I'm going to remove my gloves. Okay, and discard this into the proper receptacle. And now, as I'm gonna perform a back massage for my patient. Okay, next is I'm going to help my patient put on a new clean gown. Okay, Bert, you can now lay back. Okay. So, Bert, here's your clean gown. So I'm gonna assist you or help you in wearing this now, okay? the client wearing the gown, so we have to check the devices attached to the patient, so we must also be careful. Okay, next I'm gonna comb the hair of my patient properly, okay, using a hair comb, of course. And we're gonna assess the patient. Okay, now. Okay, Bert, now that we are done with the bed bath, how are you feeling now? How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Refreshed?
I am good.
Okay, that's great to hear. Okay, Bert, so now I am Bert, so now I am going to head out as I am done here. We are done here. We are done with the bed bath. So I'll let you have some rest, and if you need anything, just press or just use the signal device here, okay, to call me. So okay, thank you very much. And after the procedure, of course, I'm gonna perform the aftercare of the equipments that I have just used. And after that, I'm gonna perform hand hygiene and document the procedure that I have just performed.